Alright, I'm back here working on the 83 Malibu. Uh, it is the evening of September 21st, 2019, which also is the day that motor started to run in the truck. So it's been a year. We're off to a good start, no issues. Now with this, I've got another tire mounted up. It's an old trailer tire, good for rolling the car around. I bought a siphon pump to siphon the old gas out of there. It turns out, if I would have checked first, see if there's even gas in the tank, that would have been nice to know before I spent about $12 on a little hand operated siphon pump, because she is bone dry. So she got parked with no gas in it, so I think I'll put at least 10 gallons in it and then disconnect the fuel line that goes up to the carb, if the carb was there, and cycle the car over and let the pump clean itself out, the lines out itself, until I see fresh gas coming out. Then I'll hook it back up. But right now, since the carburetor is not rebuilt yet, I believe I'm going to go through and replace all these worn and weather checked and cracked vacuum lines. Get those done out of the way so I can, don't have to worry about vacuum leaks when I first fire up the engine. And then overall, I believe the oil looked pretty good, so I might leave the oil, but I might not. I'm unsure yet. The oil looks like it's brand new, like it was changed just before it parked, so obviously the previous owner somewhat cared about the car still, where he changed the oil and it drained the gas out of it and let it sit. So that's what's going on right now. I'm going to replace all the vacuum lines, get that squared away, and I'm hoping the carburetor will be rebuilt within the next few days here. Alright, so I just got done replacing a couple of the vacuum lines. I'm guessing for this line right here, I will need a slightly bigger size hose, and I don't actually believe I need to get rid of that one. A bunch of the lines look fine. There's a couple little 1/8 inch ones on the carburetor I need to replace. But as far as all this small hard plastic that goes into this small line, and then this one from, I don't know what kind of valve that is on the intake, probably vacuum manifold or something like that, that goes in this hard line, that's all fine. So I got the 3 or 4 lines I needed to replace replaced. And I need to dig around on here more and see what's all going on and see what else needs to be replaced to not create a huge vacuum leak. I'm also going to go into research about the smog pump. And right now I don't have a belt on it, so the motor will spin over. But the reason why I'm only inquiring and wanting to see if I can get the smog pump fixed is because my buddy Rob on the American Made Classics channel, this is his 83 AMC Concorde, and he is currently fixing some gaskets. You'll see that on his channel. And yet, once again, that's American Made Classics on the YouTubes. Well, since both these cars are 1983 four-door sedans, our plan is find all the stock info of fuel economy and braking and acceleration and all that with the engine, the 258 straight 6 in that, and the 3.8 liter V6 in this. And first compare when they were brand new, and then compare them now, 30 some odd years later, almost 40 years later, just to see A, how close they are to factory, how much have they changed in these 40 years, B, how they do against each other still to this day in fuel economy, and mainly in the fuel economy, I would believe, and then the braking and all that. This car has a lot of work to be done on it yet. I need to go through the brakes, front and rear. I need to go through, I'm not going to really touch the transmission. If it works, it works. I have bad luck with transmissions. But then, as in comfort, ride quality, I'm going to throw a new set of shocks on this front and rear. As he already spent a good amount of time and money, he went through the whole suspension on this car. He detailed that out on one of his videos. he went through and did a lot of work to the motor, and right now he's replacing intake and exhaust manifold, along with, I'm guessing, some beautification of the side of the engine with how dirty it is. But then I think this would be a fun comparo because he already driven this car all the way down to St. Louis from where we are in central Wisconsin. So this car is dependable. It's known as to be a dependable, reliable car. If I get this thing running, I hope to get it running and driving soon to make it safe, because I'm not going to drive it if it's not safe, and that includes getting different tires on it, something that doesn't have cracks in the sidewall and the white walls peeling, which I am going to try to hunt for some nice used or cheap new white walls for this thing because it deserves it. And then we'll just have a fun comparison, probably run her about 50, 60, 70 miles and see how they do. See how they do 30 some odd years later.